Hi, my name is Yahir. I'm here with my sister Shaisy. The date is December 18th, 2023, and we are recording this interview in Chicago, Illinois. First, my question is, how was your first semester in college been? Was funny.
I mean, my first semester wasn't bad. I mean, I definitely could have done better. Can I curse? Oh, I'm not gonna curse, but um, I mean, I liked the classes. I didn't like I don't know, like it was meh. Like, I mean, I found a group of people and they are Mexicans, so it's like, oh yeah, like I feel at home and I found community. But then there are times where it's um, like in terms of academics, it was a little bit difficult because even though I took like a lot of like honor classes or like AP classes at Holy Trinity, I didn't feel completely like prepared in the sense of like, okay, outside of like class, am I actually like studying, am I actually like applying myself to reviewing the material and whatnot. So I think that's what like I had a lot of trouble with, and I'm okay with the grades as far as I'm aware of right now, but I definitely could have done a lot more better. But that's something that I'm looking out for the next semester.
Uh, what new people have you become friends with, and what's one thing that you like about them?
Well, I mentioned that I made friends with other Hispanic people, but it's not just like with them that I feel comfortable with. Like, what makes that friend group with them so different than some of the other friend groups that I've had at that school is just I feel like we just completely like got attached, or we got to we got really close because I think we met each other, I think that first week, and we ended up having like an affinity dinner together, and I was like, oh, like why don't we exchange like social media and let's hang out and whatnot, and like we spend probably a lot of time together, in comparison with like the white people of my school. I feel like it's more like academic based. Like, I feel like for them I really had to make a lot more effort to kind of get personal and have them open up to me. But I think it's kind of worth it, especially with like my roommate. She's white, but I still enjoy like hanging out with her. I feel like I got her to open up to me. Um, so I think it's just nice having those different like relationships, because it also helps me understand like, okay, not everyone's very comfortable or very open like me, and I don't know if that's just a cultural thing or just like, oh, I might be a lot more extroverted than other people.
What do you miss about high school?
Hmm. I wish how easy it was to kind of like your access to like everything, because I think like in high school it was like, okay, after classes I could just go do my after school activity, and then I could go like watch like the games. Like, I felt a lot more attached, or I felt like I could participate into like the school spirit, I guess. And I think it's a little bit difficult with in college, just because I also have to manage my job, like my work award, and that's off campus, and then also have to like manage like, okay, those times that I have off, like I'm either studying or I'm like giving myself a lot more free time, and also figuring out, okay, time for dinner. Like, it's more dependent on me and making sure that I'm fulfilling my needs, rather than like high school everything was just like just there for me and I have to like go out of my way.
What is your favorite memory from when you were a kid?
um I mean, it's not a memory, but I always like it when, I don't know, like one of us or like our parents take out like that big box of like photos,
Oh yeah.
and then we all just like look through them
Yeah.
and we ask like, oh, like when was this or who was there and anything, like just like looking back at those like stuff, like it's like very sentimental and I really like having those photos. And I don't know, I think that's like my most favorite part. Like I mean, yeah, I enjoy like going out with my like siblings, or I remember like when we would like travel to places and everything, but I think my special thing was just like when we would stay at home and just like look at those things and reminisce about the past.
What do you want to do when you graduate from college, like career wise?
Career wise, well, I'm definitely for sure. I want to become a teacher, and right now I'm thinking about English. Although I'm not quite sure anymore if I want to do high schoolers. Um, I mean, I do have a little bit of experience working with older kids, but now I'm like working at a elementary school for my job, and I really enjoy working with them. It's very like not cute, but it's very fun and kind of like it's just amazing to me to see how like their minds, even though they're not as like old as us, or their brain isn't as developed as us, that they're like still able to grasp like material and whatnot. So like I for sure still want to do education. I want to be a teacher. I'm not sure if I want to do that for a long time, but I wouldn't mind still being in the education system after a while.
Is there a teacher from Holy Trinity that impacted you the most?
I I think, I mean, I feel like everyone had uh or the teachers that have had the pleasure of being a student um have made an impact on me, whether maybe as big as like my kind of like my future, or looking for like resources and being able to provide that. But I feel like my biggest teachers are probably Miss Morales and Miss Chu, just because being part of Club Raíces was, I mean, even outside of Club Raíces too, it was just like you had this support from both of them. And Mr. Morales, when I had classes with him, with Mr. Morales, it was always just like every day I would walk into class, and even though sometimes I would be like in a bad mood or whatever, he would like always joking around. And sometimes there are days where it's like, oh, like I don't want to deal with his jokes and whatnot. But like in the end, like he does it because he like senses right away when you're not in your like your usual mood, or like it's like he can pick out something, and he can immediately find a solution for it.
Is there a person in your life that you look up to?
Mm, I feel like this. Everyone says their parents, and I agree, but I think it's also like I look for my parents a lot for guidance, but I also think there are times where you have to recognize yourself too, and not in like a selfish or like egotistical way, but I think it's also just important for yourself to kind of think, okay, like this is, I've grown like this and I've done this, and you're like capable of changing. So I think my parents are a support system so that I can like be a good role model for myself. Like I'm learning from them to be a role model for myself.
And are you proud of what you have accomplished in school? Like all your achievements and everything?
Mm, in terms of academics, I feel like I'm not doing as good as I would hope to do, but I also know like myself, the effort that I'm putting in, so I'm not too hard on myself. But I feel like outside of academics, I definitely am achieving the things like, and I feel like this is like a constant thing, or I've had someone point out, like recently my Spanish professor in college pointed out like she sees the passion and dedication that I have for kind of social justice, or at least for a call of action for people. And I think when you're having multiple people say that about you, I'm doing like the right thing. So I feel like I'm achieving a lot in that sense.
That's all.
Right.
Thank you.